us off by telling us your name and talking about where you're currently living?
Yes. My name is Marc Spector. I'm living on Long Island, New York, in a town called Huntington. I have lived on Long Island almost all my life. I have moved around a couple of times, but I really love Long Island, and I love the fact that I'm close to New York City, and I just love this area very much. It's a great place to live.
Great. What about your experience in Huntington made you want to reach out to us for this interview specifically?
I guess I just enjoy Long Island very much. Huntington specifically is a very nice village. It's not really a town; it's more like a village. I guess you can call it a town if you're not from the area, but it's very quaint. It's on the North Shore, and very New Englandy, very New Englandy. And because it's on the North Shore, not historic times, but in colonial times, they used to come down from Connecticut and kind of perch here for the day. And the North Shore, especially like right on the water, has a lot of New Englandy influence. And it's just a beautiful place to live. Stores are nearby. It's on the border of Suffolk and Nassau counties, which is the two counties that Long Island has. We have two counties, and I am about, I'm going to say 25 minutes from the New York City line going westward, and probably about 2.5 hours from the East End going the other way. So I'm kind of a little bit closer to the city than to the East End. And I just really enjoy living here. Like I said, I've lived here almost all my life.
Great. So on the flip side, you've talked about things that you really like. On the flip side, what are some things that you could live without or wish were different?
Traffic congestion on the Long Island Expressway. Yes, that is a big. Even today, yes, it can be a little bit of a hassle when you have to get somewhere. Everything's in close proximity, which I guess is extremely good. But when there's traffic and there's gridlock, because we're on an island, there's only so many places you can go. And despite the fact that we have a lot of good information around us as to the best routes and GPSs and whatnot, doesn't always work out that way. So sometimes you end up running late, and there's the congestion is pretty bad at times, traffic gridlock. And apparently Long Islanders are not great drivers. I would not include myself in that category because I think I'm a good driver. But according to statistics, we're actually pretty low on that in terms of cautious defensive driving, which is a problem. Yeah. But again, I don't include myself because I think I'm a pretty good driver.
Nice. Well, you said it's kind of a village more so than like a small town or anything. If anybody were to visit, do you have like local businesses or anything that you think that people should stop by to make their trip?
Absolutely. There's Heckscher Park, which is in the village. Beautiful park. There is Countset State Park a little bit further north. I don't know if it's in Huntington specifically. It might be considered Hale Site, but also a beautiful area. Of course, we have several beaches on the North Shore. Rocky, yes, but nevertheless a good beach. I was actually there on a couple of days ago. I've never swam so late in the year before, but I did this year. It's been unbelievably beautifully mild. And other places are Oheka Castle, I believe, is a historic castle. Teddy Roosevelt's estate is in nearby Oyster Bay. There's also Cold Spring Harbor, which is next, I believe, the first village west from Huntington. And very quaint, very nice, very beautiful villages, lots of shopping, restaurants. Again, it can get congested at times, but basically from Route 25A, which runs parallel to the shore on the North Shore of Long Island, is a beautiful drive. There's a lot of beautiful scenery, and of course the not world famous, but nationally known Walt Whitman Mall is a big mall on Long Island, probably the biggest mall, and they have a lot of different shops, and that's in Huntington as well. And also interesting to note is that Walt Whitman was born in Huntington, the poet. Yes. Wow. So in general, it's just a very nice place to live.
Excellent. Would you, I mean, it kind of sounds like I already know the answer, but just for clarity's sake, would you recommend someone else move to Huntington?
It depends if you'd like the four seasons, if you like four mild seasons, none of which are that bad, although we do get extremes at times. And moderate snowfall, I guess. It really depends, I guess, where you're from. I guess someone from like Florida might not like it as much. I don't. It can get cold. Obviously, we're in the Northeast, and it can get hot in summer for the same, And but if you like four seasons, if you like living close to a huge city like New York, um, it really could be a good place to live. And the school district, from what I hear, is very good. A good school district. We have a lot of colleges in the area. I actually work at a college, but it's a little further west. But we do have good farming. SUNY Farmingdale is a little bit down the road, and good school district. Good people are for the most part pretty friendly. Um, I mean, it could be an option depending on where you're from and what your status is in life, I guess.
Nice. All right. And then do you have any advice for somebody who might be moving to Huntington in the near future?
Again, I guess it depends where they're coming from, but it I would just be open-minded. And if you like the water, obviously we're right on the water. So there's fishing, there's swimming, there's boating, there's swimming, everything related to water sports. But I guess that applies to Long Island in general. So if you don't like water and you don't like that stuff, you might not want to move here because we're surrounded by water. And yeah, and we also have a lot of good libraries. I frequent the local library very frequently, and it's just overall it's a good place to live, and I'm very happy here.
Excellent. Well, then that about wraps up all of my questions. Do you have anything else that you would want to share before we sign off?
Um, no, I hope I've done a good job in advertising Huntington, Long Island, New York. It's like I said, it's a good place to live, and I'm quite happy here.
Great.
I think
Yeah.
that's about it.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.